So, are you worried about AI taking your job? Look, you're definitely not alone. In this explainer, we are going to cut through all that noise and give you 9 very specific certifications that can actually future-proof your career. And these aren't just random guesses. They're based on what the job market is really demanding in this new age of AI.
I mean, this is the big question, right? It's on everybody's mind. AI is changing the game so fast, it's kind of hard to keep up. And all that uncertainty, it's stressful. But you know what? Instead of just worrying about it, let's actually look at the solution. And this right here, this is the core idea. Seriously, trying to outthink or outwork the machines, it's a losing battle. The real way forward is to completely shift our focus and double down on the things that make us human. You know, creativity, empathy, real connection. Things that an AI, no matter how smart, just can't do.
Okay, so let's start with our first group of certifications. These are all about sharpening that uniquely human edge.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Soft skills sounds a little fluffy, right? But just hear me out. This is a real deal certification from IBM. As more and more of the boring, repetitive tasks get automated, the single best way to make yourself valuable is to be more human. And this course is designed to teach you exactly how to do that in a professional setting.
So this certification really covers the essentials: collaborating with a team, nailing a presentation, actual problem solving, and those crucial interpersonal skills like empathy. Look, this isn't about landing a brand new job tomorrow morning. It's about building a rock-solid foundation for any career you pursue. And a 4.7-star rating from over 70,000 students, that tells you something. I'm going to score it a 7.5 out of 10.
This quote just nails why our next certification is so important. The Salesforce Sales Development Representative Program. Real, high-level sales isn't about reading off a script of features. It's about building genuine trust. It actually triggers a chemical response in the brain through empathy and connection, something an AI just can't fake. That human element? It's irreplaceable, especially when you're talking about complex tech sales.
And listen, we're not talking about that old-school, high-pressure sales stuff. Tech sales is way more about consulting, working with businesses that are already looking for a solution. It's a role you can often do from anywhere, and the skills you learn are incredibly useful across different industries. It's a really powerful, human-focused career path that earns an 8.3 out of 10.
All right, this next one is a little different. It's not about a technical skill. It's what I call a resilience skill. In a world that's constantly changing, where your career path is definitely not going to be a straight line, your ability to handle all that uncertainty and make clear, long-term choices, that's a superpower. This university-backed course teaches you the science behind doing just that. It's not about a quick promotion. It's about building a career strategy that's sustainable and, actually fulfilling. That's why it gets a solid 8 out of 10.
All right, let's move on to our next section. Let's see how mastering the technology itself can be a really powerful way forward. So instead of running away from the change, we can learn how to build it and how to direct it. Okay, so AI has basically created a legal Wild West. It's crazy. Authors are having their books literally stolen to train these models, musicians are hearing their songs replicated, and our private photos are being scraped and used for AI training without anyone asking. It is a total mess, all because the tech is moving way faster than our laws can keep up. So, you might be asking, how can I use this if I'm not a lawyer? And that is the key question. Understanding the basics of AI law helps you spot new business opportunities, use AI tools at your job without accidentally breaking the law, and just stay ahead of the curve. Honestly, this is becoming essential knowledge for pretty much anyone in business. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10.
Get this, cybersecurity is growing 10 times faster than the average career. And the reason is simple. Everything is going online. Our cars, our homes, even our refrigerators. And yes, your fridge getting hacked is a real thing that could happen. As the bad guys also start using AI to find weaknesses, the need for skilled human defenders is just absolutely exploding.
And that's exactly why this Microsoft Cybersecurity Analyst certification is so interesting. It's surprisingly designed for total beginners and can even get you college credit at some schools. But let's be honest with each other, cybersecurity is hard. It's super technical, and it's definitely not for everyone. But for the sheer amount of opportunity out there, it gets an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, next up is Google's Data Analytics certification. Now, this field is getting really competitive, and just taking a basic course isn't going to be enough anymore. The real opportunity is in evolving with the role, shifting from being a traditional data analyst into an AI analyst. So that means you're not just reporting on what happened in the past, you're using AI to build models that predict the future and tell the business what's going to happen next. I absolutely love this analogy. Getting into data analytics right now means you have to be willing to adapt on the fly.
You learn the basics, and then you immediately have to pivot to learning the AI tools that are already automating parts of the job. It's a risk, for sure, but for anyone willing to stay right on the cutting edge, it's a huge opportunity. That's why it gets a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, this is the ultimate question when we start talking about the AI engineer certification, right? If the best place to be is building the AI, well, what happens when the AI can just build itself? It's a very real concern.
Well, the consensus among pretty much all the experts is that we just can't let AI build itself without any supervision. An unsupervised AI that isn't aligned with our values could try to optimize for a goal in a way that's incredibly destructive simply because it has no common sense to stop it. And that is why we will always need skilled humans to guide it, to supervise it, and to act as that critical failsafe. This certification is a great path, but it is advanced. You'll need a solid tech background to jump in. For that reason, it scores a 7.5 out of 10.
And that brings us to our final category, which is all about leadership. It's not just about doing the work or building the tech anymore. It's about leading the teams and managing the projects in this new AI-powered world.
Over 300,000 students. That's how many people have enrolled in the Wharton Business Foundation certification. And there's a good reason for it. Wharton is, well, arguably the best business school on the planet, with alumni like Elon Musk and Google CEO.
And what's so amazing about this course is that it basically distills the most valuable, most essential parts of an elite MBA into a format you can do part-time in 2 months. You learn the fundamentals of marketing, finance, management, all of it. Whether you're working in a business, starting your own, or just want to get better at what you do, this is just incredibly valuable. For me, it's a strong 9 out of 10.
All right, and finally, we have the Microsoft Project Management certification. Now, you might think AI would make projects simpler, right? But a lot of the time, it does the exact opposite. See, AI is an incredibly powerful tool, but it adds more moving parts, more variables, and more complexity to what's already a messy process. This doesn't get rid of the need for project managers, it actually makes them even more essential.
And this is the key takeaway. Project managers are masters of adapting to change. Their entire job is to handle shifting priorities and unexpected problems. That makes them perfectly suited to thrive when everything is changing so fast. This incredible versatility is why it's one of the best future-proof jobs out there, earning a solid 9 out of 10. So let's just bring it all together for a second. As you can see, we've really covered 3 totally different paths to an AI-proof career. The first is all about boosting your human edge, leaning into skills like empathy and connection that machines just can't touch. The second is about mastering the tech itself, learning to build it, secure it, and legally navigate it. And the third path is all about leading in this new world through smart strategy and adaptable management. Each one offers a really powerful way to stay ahead of the curve.
You know, at the end of the day, surviving and thriving in the age of AI isn't about finding one single magic skill. It's about building a portfolio of skills. Some are human-centric, some are technical. So the only real question left is, which one are you going to start with?